Well, welcome back to another episode of Rogue Home. A new project that isn't just a car build, it's a house build. Starting off with this amazing one-of-a-kind mid-century modern home built by Robert Rasmussen, and we're renovating it and bringing it up to date. So in the last episode, we took you through this time capsule of a home and gave you a rough idea of what we were going to do with it. But I think I owe everybody a full design plan. The one thing that was missing and holding me back from creating this video was we had a whole lot more repair than we anticipated. So one of the biggest parts of the repair was we had to repair the sub-slab ducting. So never heard of that before, but basically they put air vents in with the foundation when it was poured. And over 60 years, those just decayed to nothing. So that was letting in groundwater, preventing airflow. It was just a problem if we really wanted to use the basement level space. So we had experts come in and they had to dig out about 12 major holes throughout the entire basement and garage floor area. Through those, they fixed all of the ducting, re-poured it with concrete, sealed it all to keep that groundwater out, keep the moisture out, and get airflow correctly flowing through the basement level again. Like I said, this opened up major holes everywhere that had to be repaired. And the budget was quickly going away as things were proceeding. So originally we were going to do tile. Then I was like, okay, we'll just leave this vinyl Armstrong flooring. But now we had to do something to fix it. And I got to tell you, this is another reason why car friends are the best friends. My friend Alex, we're just going to call him Alex the Great. He came in, he does commercial flooring. He lives about 2 hours away. He normally would not do anything residential and completely bailed me out. Came in, patched the Armstrong flooring, used some like colors and pulled some other tiles out from where there weren't the big holes, and basically created a new pattern using the existing and then patching in some new similar tile. So in reality, it looks like it was this way the entire time, and saved a lot of money. And again, thank you, Alex. You really bailed me out on this one. So another big issue we had was the exterior. There is a ton of stonework here, and it needed a significant amount of tuck pointing. So really kind of in over my head, I was able to call a friend from the car community, Steve Bruno, from Bruno's Tuck Pointing. He came out here and devised kind of a multi-stage plan to help me stay within my budget. First, he's going to come in and address what has to be done. So the tuck pointing that's necessary because it's structurally failing. We don't want all that stone falling away from the building. So Steve came in, he completed phase one, got these turrets that are up on the roof. They were pretty bad. There was some stone around the window areas. So it took care of anything that was like in danger. And then of course we'll have him come back out to, keep on updating and just doing everything. In addition to the exterior, there was a lot of interior stonework that needed help too, especially around the fireplace. So Steve came in, redid our entire fireplace, removed all the cracks, made it structurally sound. So it just looks great and it'll last another 60 years now. Along the exterior, we also had an issue with, I guess you'd call it a roof eave, but it's all stucco. And again, 60 years old. A lot of that stucco deteriorated. So I was able to find, through a friend, find a great stucco guy who came in and filled all the patches, got it all perfect, repainted it to the original color. It looks fantastic. And next up, we of course had a lot of plumbing issues. As we were starting to just use the house, noticed we had some leaking. Some old galvanized drains, things like that. So we had to do some pretty extensive repair on the plumbing. Basically, just replumbing the whole house. Of course, just like with the floor, to get to the things that are broken, you have to go through the things that are not necessarily broken. So we had to remove a lot of tile off the walls. I will say, Alex bailed me out again. Again, traveled 2 hours to help me remove all this bad tile. Or not bad tile, the tile was fine, but remove the tile so that we could get to the shower systems and get that all corrected. So I had to do that. What else? Electrical, we had a new breaker box put in, new outlets, basically you name it, the repair was needed. After all the repair was done, we were able to then kind of seal up the drywall. Now, one of the difficulties with drywall in this house, and I kind of refer to it loosely as drywall, but this house doesn't really have drywall. It's all hand-laid plaster. So chipping it out is kind of like chipping concrete out. And it took me a while to find a specialist that would come in and be able to patch everything just as it was. So now the home is kind of like at an even keel. It's functioning everywhere. All the bathrooms work. Everything's great. Then it's time for layering on the design piece. So starting with the main floor as you walk in. All that green shag carpeting is going away. Originally, I was planning on doing a tile, and really to keep it in period, a terrazzo tile. But there are so many complex curves and small niches and handmade elements, I knew that any tile seams not perfectly lining up would just drive me nuts. So I thought the right thing to do is, and keep it in period, is do a poured terrazzo. We did an epoxy-based terrazzo, but used the stone aggregate that was correct to the time period of the 1960s. Using epoxy instead of cement allowed us to go with a thinner pour that kept the weight down because we're on the second floor, and also allowed us to meet up seamlessly against the original walnut floors in the kitchen. Outside of the floor and revamping things, we're not really doing any changes to the living room. As we enter the kitchen, we've got some big things planned here. So unfortunately, as we were repairing things, we had found that the original cabinetry, which seemed to be in good shape, was just mounted to the wall. There weren't really boxes that, like today, that you would take a box and then mount it to the wall. It was really more of a floating curved wall that was tacked into the rear support wall and created cabinets. The unfortunate part is a lot of the structure behind the doors was rotting. Some of it was unsealed or unpainted plywood, and it was just deteriorating. So everything had to come out, and we used this opportunity to kind of clean up the kitchen design and make some, I would say, quality changes. As we were pulling the cabinets away, we noticed that there were some elements that must have changed over time. So specifically, there was this kind of oven stack, microwave oven stack that was in the middle of the room. It did kind of look odd, but it made sense to me that it existed there. But we noticed after pulling everything away that that was not original to the home. That was added, we can tell by some of the handwriting and dates of things, that was added sometime in the 80s. So we wanted to return the kitchen to the original design of keeping it an open curve design with no stack that breaking up that curve. To do that, we're moving the oven below the counter. We're also ditching the microwave and adding a steam oven in its place, also below the counter. Along with that new oven and steam oven, we're adding integrated appliances. So everything just kind of seamlessly, melts into the design. We really want the kitchen itself, the design of it, to stand out, not the appliances. Then for finishes, we're going to refinish the original walnut flooring so that it matches all the new walnut cabinetry. We're putting in the new Saks natural stone mosaic tile. It has the green that it originally had and the other cream and earth tones, but gives it a more elevated design. For counters, we're going with a beautiful green countertop. So this is kind of like a jewel box of a kitchen. So as you go down the hall, the first room that you come into is the bedroom, or guest bed, I guess you'd call it. It's kind of an interesting situation because the original bedroom had these Jack and Jill bedrooms. They were connected with a pocket door that semi-closed them off. Original design had 2 built-in twin beds on each side. We're going to remove those, opt for 2 king-size beds, 1 to each side. That will just add more comfort for our guests. And instead of that pocket door just terminating short of fully closed, we're going to then build a pony wall in there above the desk so that can seal off for complete privacy between the two rooms. In the primary bedroom, we're just going to, again, change out the carpet, paint, add a new headboard, some new furnishings, clean things up, and that's about it. So in the primary bath, we do have to do a fair amount of changes. Unfortunately, the toilet didn't work, the shower didn't work right, the faucets didn't work right, we also had rotting cabinets, so all of that has to come out. And unfortunately, to fix the shower system, we have to remove the original tile. So we're going to do our best to bring it up to date, make it functional, but also, again, give a nod to its original design. We're keeping the original terrazzo floor with the step-down bath or sunken bath, but we are going to add a new curved wall that'll follow the edge of that sunken bath. I just really don't feel good about the whole open shower design. So I think adding this curved wall there will really kind of enclose the shower, give it a very spa-like feel, make it more comfortable for taking a shower. We're going to replace the tile, because it all has to come off anyway, with a beautiful Ansax thin stack mosaic. That way I can follow all those curves without creating any problems. You can't really go with too large of a tile and get those really deep curves. We'll replace the cabinetry as well, put in some new granite and some nice brass elements with the mirrors, cabinetry, and as well as the sink faucets. So down to the basement. Got big plans for the basement. So we've come to find out there was some floods down here, and it kind of turned into, I guess, like the remediation special. Very bland, very just, they painted everything white, all kind of bare. So we need to really bring some of that character from upstairs down here. So I'm picturing something like an elevated modern rumpus room. So we're taking all of the design aesthetics from a 60s and 70s rumpus room, but bringing in today's materials. So we're going to do some wainscoting or some trim in a walnut to bring that walnut from upstairs downstairs. Some great paint. I'm thinking we're going to go with a green or yellow just to liven things up. We'll, of course, make full use of this rounded bar. And what I was thinking is I've harvested all that tile that we had to pull out of the kitchen and bathroom, and I'm going to try to do a cool mosaic across the front of the bar, reusing that tile. Again, I want to use as much material as I can from the original home. And that leaves us with the garage. Oh, the sweet garage. So what we're going to do there is I'm taking out that wall between the two-car garage and the carpentry workshop so that I can fit more cars in there. I can definitely get 3 in the Vanderhall. I might even be able to get 4. We're going to see. So we're going to pull that wall down. We're going to redo a beautiful epoxy throughout the new garage space. We'll paint. I'm thinking either a lime wash or I'll add some stucco in there, just to make it feel more like a room and less like a garage. Of course, we'll do some cool lighting and then a beautiful glass door on the exterior. So that about sums up the full design of what we're going to do now that all the repairs are finished. And now I can get back to car projects. So look out for more updates on the Rasmussen house. Also, we're going to be posting videos of updates on the Fox Body Mustang or ASC McLaren. There's a new car we brought in. It's a bit of a surprise. The Yakuza W210 Mercedes E-Class. We got a lot going on here. So look for more videos. And please like, subscribe, comment what you want to see. I'd love to get it out there to you.